Edify Math and Science. Hello everybody, I'm teacher Tenny from Edify. Today we'll be sharing about the topic on light. Light is one of the more difficult topics for secondary 1 students. There are many parts to this, so for this episode we'll focus just on one part, reflection. What do we have to know about reflections? First, we need to know more about the laws of reflection. So if you can see here on the top, laws of reflection. Number 1, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal all lie in the same plane. Number 2, the angle of incidence equals to the angle of reflection. Now what you need to know next is how the drawing is like. Okay, so normally for the questions they will ask, number 1, they will ask you to label. So you see the dotted line here, what is this? It is the normal. Number 2, the incident ray. Number 3, the reflected ray. Number 4, angle of incidence, which is between the normal and the incident ray. And the angle of reflection, which is between the normal and the reflected ray. So questions can range from asking you what is the angle of incidence to what is the angle of reflection. They'll give you all the angles, so you do make sure using all your laws as well as what you know about math, like it's 90 degrees, and then you can minus to find the necessary. So besides this, what other questions can be asked from here? Okay, we also have 2 kinds of reflection. Number 1, we have regular reflection and irregular reflection. So what kind of questions can be asked? First is the types of questions. Number 1, the drawing kind. Number 2, the theory kind. So just now we mentioned the labeling. So make sure you know what is the incident ray and the reflected ray, and over here the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. Alright, besides this, do know how to complete the light ray. So how do we draw? There are a few steps, and make sure you follow this whenever you draw reflection kind of drawing. Number 1, when they give you the object, draw the image. The image should be an equal distance from the mirror. So this is the mirror, and you measure the distance from this line. Okay, so the distance of the image from the mirror as well as the object from the mirror must be the same, and do indicate that it is the same. Number 2, next one, 3, draw from the image to the eye. So how to draw from the image to the eye? So from the both ends of the eye you can draw. Alright, and then the next step, draw from the object to the intersection. So what do we mean by the intersection? This point where they intersect the mirror and the light ray. So then you intersect at that point. Last one, draw arrows pointing towards the eye. Alright, draw arrows both at the object side as well as the image side. So this completes the ray. Alright, so normally this takes about 2 to 3 marks. So do make sure that you have every single component, failure which you may have marks deducted. Alright, what's the third kind of drawing? So normally this one, it will be more for the IP students, or those, there are schools which want to test the G3 students as well. So they will ask you for the minimum length of the mirror that will be needed. So how do you draw the light rays? Okay, so that's the first kind of question that will come up. So in order to find where it is, number 1, you will draw the image. Of course, during the exam, we won't be asking you to draw the person's image, but what you need to know is first, the top. Take note of where the top is and the bottom is. So whenever the question asks you for the minimum length of the mirror, that's what you have to take note. Alright, so draw the, take note where the top is and where the bottom is. Once you do that, then you start to draw the image like what we have done for the previous question. Alright, first draw the image, second from the image to the eye. So that's why we draw here from the image here all the way to the eye. Okay, and then from the object to the intersection. So object is on the top, you go to the intersection. So that's the first light ray to draw. And then the second one that you draw is from the bottom, which is the image. Same thing, draw towards the eye. Alright, and then later from the object to the intersection. Okay, then with that, we have completed the drawing, and what you need to know now is what is the minimum length. So if the minimum length of the person is, okay, the height of the person is 1.6 meters, then the minimum height is always half of it. The minimum height is always half of it. No matter how tall the person is, how far away from it, always half of the person's height. Okay, of course there are calculations why it is like that. So why? Because you see, if you take a look at the bottom here, from the eye to the bottom of the to the feet of the person, 1.5 meters. So because angle of incidence equals angle of reflection, so the distance there is also the same. Hence, actually what you need to get is this distance, which is 0.75 meters. Alright, so with 0.75 meters, once the bottom of the feet there reaches the end of the mirror at point B, you would be able to see the image of the feet already. Same thing from the top, 0.1 meters. So from the top of the head to the to where the end of the mirror is, you realize that you only need 0.5 meters for it to be reflected towards the eye. So here 0.5 meters, the bottom 1.5 meters, 0.75 meters, total you will only need 0.8 meters of the mirror. Hence what you need is just half of the length, the height of the person. That would be the length of the mirror that you would need. So this is the other kind of question that can usually come out for this topic. Alright, then besides the drawing kind, we also have the theory kind, asking you for the properties of the mirror's image. So we have different kinds of mirrors for this topic. So we have plane mirrors, where it is laterally inverted, upright, virtual, same size, object distance from mirror equals to image distance from mirror. So don't just write same distance, because if you just write same distance, I can deduct your marks. What do you mean by same distance? Alright, then same thing, we also they can ask you what is virtual. So virtual means image cannot be formed on a screen. So these are questions that they can ask. Alright, image cannot be formed on a screen. Okay, besides this, they also ask you for convex mirrors and concave mirrors. So what else can they ask? They also ask you for the users. So there are a few that you can remember. So convex mirror, they are usually used as security mirrors. Okay, security mirrors. Then for concave mirrors, usually used as the dentist mirrors. So do remember a few, then it'll be useful when the question do ask you. Alright, so this is the end of the presentation for today. We will come for the next episode on refraction. Thank you.